So in France, that would be like sacrilege to make scrambled eggs without cream.
I know. Hi, Shannon.
So,
how are you?
I'm great.
So we're here in Santa Monica.
Yes.
And I'm probably going to run upstairs so we could be prepared to go through all the products. I know you have all the charts there for Ultimate Friendly Flora, which is our brand new probiotic, reformulated completely. And we'll also talk about our PC Liver and Brain, our liver antioxidant extracts. Best pricing ever on all 3 products are today's specials. And now I'm going to run upstairs, so I'll see you in a little bit.
All right, we'll join you there. Bye-bye. All right, well, Maria will be back later in the day. Of course, Andrew is going upstairs because we've got a big, big night ahead. You know how much we love what Andrew Lessman does, and this is something that he has never done, not only because we're celebrating at his home to share some special information for you, but usually the first of the year, that's when Andrew starts talking about digestion and immunity, all the things that we do to compromise all the things in our life over the holiday season. Our Ultimate Friendly Flora, and then of course we'll give you details on the PC Liver and Brain that has already been very popular as our other today's special in a moment. But right now, the Ultimate Friendly Flora, done in a new, updated, exciting way, 25 billion colony. 25 billion colony with a more resistant strain. Andrew's gonna give you all the science, but here's the kind of savings that he is doing for today and today only. You have the 30, 60, 120, or 240. Remember again, these sizes are specially designed for this one day only special live opportunity and special remote. Best savings that we've ever done in HSN history, plus that extended holiday return policy. Savings that, no kidding, any way you stack it, you're saving more than you're spending. And Andrew, we know this is the time of year where we're traveling, we're encountering other people, we're challenging our immune systems, our digestive systems, and you have found a way to help get us through the holiday season.
It's always been a favorite for this time of year since we introduced this almost 20 years ago. Now it's even better than ever. This formula has gone through potentially a dozen evolutions, and this probably, we'll talk about this at length in a little bit, but this probably is the greatest transformation of this product. To many of you, the label still looks the same in terms of the actual ingredients, but there's been dramatic changes in the stability of the formula, dramatic changes in the benefits you could achieve with the formula, and this is already a product that's virtually perfectly reviewed. We've been doing probiotics as long as anyone. We're probably the first to do a probiotic formula that didn't require refrigeration, and that was about 15 plus years ago. So we have as much experience as possible. And again, we go to the experts when it comes to these special probiotic strains, and those experts have specifically assembled these strains, made them for us. So made them for you. So that's not what you're seeing when you're looking at products on store shelves out there.
Absolutely, that is so key. And again, when we said tonight's a big night for a lot of reasons, because we're spending time in your home, but we also have our other today's special, which you know is a big, big favorite for me, not only because I take several medications that, you know, again, I am one of those people that I am required to get those liver tests just to make sure everything is in working order. But normally you used to do this in January. And so now we're talking about the PC Liver and Brain benefits. So your famous detox product, in addition to your great support product, in sizes and savings that we're doing for today and today only. So basically it's very easy. You just choose, because they're the same price. Do you want your phosphatidylcholine separately, or do you want your liver antioxidants solo? Now remember, they're the same price, so it's an easy choice for you to make. Or do you want what most people are doing, and do you want the big bundle? In which case you'll be looking at 360 caps of that phosphatidylcholine and 180 caps of the liver antioxidants, or the 720 on the phosphatidylcholine with the 360 of the liver antioxidants. Biggest savings. Wow, Andrew, I have to say, when it comes to supporting our liver, our brain, our mood, I have never seen you do savings like this, and it's just really wonderful, I think, that you're doing it at a time of year where we really deserve and need to give ourselves the best defenses possible.
These are products that should be important every single day of the year. It just so happens at the end of the year, the very beginning of the year, it's when everyone becomes more receptive to a discussion about these products. We know we throw a little caution to the wind with our diet. And by the way, we'll come back to Ultimate Friendly Flora for its full presentation. We just wanted to let everybody know the 3 Today specials that are available. The Ultimate Friendly Flora, our incredible probiotic product, and then our PC Liver and Brain. So whether you're focusing on the structure of your liver, it represents 2/3 of the membrane structure of your liver. Phosphatidylcholine is also the principal phospholipid in your brain. So whether it's your liver or your brain, for about $0.10 a capsule on phosphatidylcholine, you get to enjoy this remarkable, remarkable product. And I encourage everyone to read the reviews on this product. They are absolutely amazing. And then, of course, liver antioxidant extracts. We'll talk about this a little bit later. But the regenerative property of the liver, it's the only organ in our body that actually can regenerate its tissue. And that's necessary because of all the hard work the liver does. The ingredients in liver antioxidant extracts are designed to support and promote that detoxification and that regenerative property. So the two together, if you choose the bundles, the small bundle, it's about 14 or 15 cents a capsule. The large bundle, barely over $0.10 a capsule. And this for ingredients that are unique and typically very expensive ingredients. So an opportunity to do something for our liver. It's the hardest working organ in our body. It really doesn't get any of the respect it deserves, usually until it's too late. And every other organ and system in our body relies on our liver to do the work that it does so it can do the work it needs in a clean environment. Without our liver, we are really not doing well, and we really should pay attention to it with all the medications we take, with the alcohol we drink, the protein we eat, the carbohydrate metabolism we want to support, the healthy metabolism we want to support. With our liver, none of that detoxification, none of the cleansing of our body takes place. It's a critical, critical organ.
Absolutely. Well, as we've seen, that bundle is actually the most popular, and no surprise there. Remember, everything has our extended holiday return policy, 5-pay flex pay. So remember, full details coming up at 12 midnight tonight. But in the meantime, I love doing this 11 o'clock hour because this is what we call our variety show, where we get to show you a lot of what normally we don't get to do a lot of time with Andrew on the air. So this is gonna be a real quick special. And Andrew, I gotta say, once people try your Fibermucil, they love it. And you are doing special pricing as part of our monthly special with that extended return policy.
Our digestion products are typically not products that are Today specials. So our monthly special for them is effectively a Today special. So when you're looking at our monthly special pricing on our DigestAssure, on our Fibermucil, you're looking at Today special pricing. You're looking at best pricing ever. And those are really the foundational products. We're looking at DigestAssure here. That's enzymes. And without enzymes, we cannot digest the foods we eat. Unfortunately, with stress, with aging, our enzyme secretion decreases and decreases significantly. Also, we tend to pop those newfangled antacids, those proton pump inhibitors, the things like Nexium and Prilosec, really effective products, but they dramatically decrease acid secretion, and with acid secretion goes digestion. We need acid to perform that digestion. So it's no wonder that these products kind of create a cycle of issues with our digestion. So DigestAssure, it's incredibly affordable. It's 100% pure enzymes. And again, a product that we specially put together to deliver all the enzymes you need that as we get older, we often struggle with. So DigestAssure is the start of it all when it comes to healthy digestion. No better time of year to test it than over the holidays, especially you have a money-back guarantee until January 31st. So it's incredibly affordable for a 100% pure enzyme-based product. If you open the capsule, it's like dust, because it needs to immediately go to work. It can't be a digestion tablet that you need to digest the tablet to get the benefits of the tablet. So ours is unique in that respect. And then, of course, there's Fibermucil. There's no more powerful, no more natural, but no more mild fiber product in the world. If you want to deliver regularity without the gas, without the discomfort, without the issues, Fibermucil is an absolute must have. Most people have grown afraid of fiber because it's just so uncomfortable when you use it. But our fiber product delivers the benefits of fiber with no problems at all. Easy to digest, won't cause gas, won't cause bloating, and just a remarkable opportunity, especially during the holidays when we don't get enough fiber, when regularity and constipation can become an issue. Fiber is the natural answer.
It is indeed. And as you're doing, of course, we know this is a time of year, whether it's digestion or that regularity because we're traveling. So perfect 1-2 punch is, of course, that Digest Assure with the Fibermucil, and big savings no matter how you stack it. So on that Digest Assure, remember again, saving upwards of $45 if you're doing that large size, which is what a lot of us do, especially this time of year. And then if you want the Fibermucil, remember the 60, 180, 360, 720, or that awesome 1,000 count size. Big savings. This really can, or go ahead, Andrew.
And if you look at the, sorry, it's with the remote, it's a little difficult. But if you look at those large sizes, this is best pricing ever. You're looking at, on the 1,000 capsule supply, you're looking at less than 8 cents a capsule. And on the 720, you're looking at still under a dime a capsule. And even on the 360, it's just over a dime a capsule. So for the most natural, mild, powerful, this is not a product that you need to take a handful of capsules. This is a product that you take 1 or 2 capsules at 1 or 2 meals or with each meal a day. You just, it's so powerful yet so mild. You just start with less and gradually work your way up to the level that works perfectly for you. But again, the key to this product, like the key to all my products, whether it's my omega-3s or my multivitamin, we deliver benefits without the problems. Most people hate digestive products, fiber products, because all they do is create more digestive problems. Not the case with these two products.
Absolutely not. And I think we're all looking for those great, healthy, natural alternatives. So 2 great choices. Once more, they work hand in hand. And one of the really fun things about this time of year is we know Andrew's our #1 brand. He is our highest customer and highest customer pick rating brand. But with that extended holiday return policy, this is the time of year to shop and try some things. Breath Plus. This was ready-made for the mistletoe, my friend, especially at this kind of special purchase.
Yeah, around the holidays, we tend to spend a lot of time in close proximity to a lot of people when we might have eaten or we might have consumed a beverage that we don't want them to know we just ate or consumed. We might have smoked. God knows what we might have smoked, but we might not want people to know we smoked. So again, but unfortunately, if you eat and you could have the freshest mouth in the world, but if you smoked a cigarette, brushed your teeth, flossed, mouthwash, all those things, the smoke will affect the contents of your stomach, just as alcohol will, or garlic will, or onions will. And that's why this has become, we often call it a crowd favorite. This is a product that we've had for over 30 years, unbelievably affordable. Again, it's pennies a capsule, yet you don't have to take a handful. You can take 1 capsule, that's all. And it's just a natural, common sense product, uses Mother Nature's natural breath fresheners. I love the fact that when we make products, yes, we follow the science, but 99.9% of the time, it's just paying careful attention to the tools that Mother Nature has. And that's what Breath Plus is. Parsley seed oil, peppermint oil, and spearmint oil, highly concentrated. And where we get the greatest reviews on this is for morning breath, of all things. Some people take it before they go to bed, some people take it first thing in the morning, or that coffee breath, whatever it might be. The contents of your stomach is less than a foot away from your mouth. It would be crazy to think that other people wouldn't smell it. So of course they smell what's in your stomach. This is a way to deodorize your stomach. So if you have a healthy mouth and a fresh mouth, you now have fresh breath because your stomach is also deodorized too.
Absolutely. Okay, well, I'm going to take the bait. You were talking about deodorizing. I guess we're deodorizing in a different way. The bean and vegetable gas relief at a very special price. With a lead-in like that, I'm interested to see how you'll follow up all the information.
No, well, for many people, I've been told, Lincoln and Marcel are here. One thing about Lincoln Marcel, and most people will say this is a little bit too much information, Lincoln and Marcel don't pass gas. So unfortunately, Muriel can't blame the dogs for anything. She's not here to defend herself. That's really good. Hopefully she's not listening. But again, so we don't have to blame our dogs, because beans, veggies, cruciferous vegetables, the healthiest vegetables, they can be highly uncomfortable when they cause gas, of course, but they can be kind of hazardous to those around us. It's a very simple solution. We know the molecules in food that cause gas and cause that discomfort and cause the odor. If you have an enzyme that breaks down those molecules, then you eliminate the odor. That is how simple this product is made. Bean and veggie gas relief for this time of year when we're eating all sorts of things that are out of the ordinary. What a great time of year to do an experiment and to see how effective it is when we break down those molecules in advance before they can cause problems for you or those you love, and save your dogs from having to saddle the blame and responsibility for something someone else might have done.
Okay, that was very cute. You're right. I hope Muriel was not listening. But we were talking about the holidays, and sometimes...
The dogs were, and they're grateful about that.
They are indeed. See, they've served their purpose among, being so cute. But one of the other things about the holidays, Andrew, is sometimes, especially if you do have a dairy or a lactose intolerance, sometimes you might not even be aware that there's a little dairy that's sneaking into a cream sauce or something else that you're consuming, because, we're going to holiday parties and the like. It's nice to see that you've done this at a special purchase price, and especially when we have that high standard of measurement, huge customer pick ratings. And this is something that people, again, they can tell if it's doing the right things for them.
Yeah, it's, again, this time of year, sometimes we're eating desserts. It might be a sauce, it might be a gravy that has a little bit of dairy in it. And if someone is lactose intolerant, even that little bit of dairy can be an enormous problem. So what this product simply is, once again, it's enzymes. And the enzymes digest the lactose, so you are not stuck with the problems, the sensitivities to lactose that might cause problems for you. So it's a product that, again, it's almost perfectly reviewed, but it's a very straightforward product, a very affordable product that goes to work. So this time of year, or any time of year, when you might consume a food that has a little bit of lactose, a little bit of dairy, it goes and digests those molecules before they can cause their offensive problems. Very simple.
Absolutely. And I love, too, aloe vera at a very special price, because we think of how soothing that is on our skin. It's also great for our digestive systems.
Yeah, the next two products we'll talk about aloe vera, available as a 200 and 400 milligram supply. Ours comes from the inner fillet of the aloe vera leaf. It is the most highly concentrated and beneficial compounds. As I said, 200 milligrams or 400 milligrams. Aloe is just as soothing inside our body, perhaps even more soothing inside our body as it is on the outside of our body. Also, many people don't just take it for its soothing benefits to our digestive system, but also for its soothing benefits for our joints. And then next, we'll talk about our ginger extract, which I often refer to as Mother Nature's natural anti-nauseant. And ginger is also consumed for its soothing benefits internally, not just for the digestive system, but also for our joints. So aloe vera, ginger, we also make a product that blends the two together, because many people love to get the benefits of both of those ingredients together. So either you can get them separately, blended together. All of these digestion products they're basically at today's special pricing for the month of November, so you get to enjoy it during that challenging time of year and get to all the way through January 31st, money-back guarantee.
Absolutely. So that extended holiday return policy, that special 5-pay flex pay, of course, free shipping on everything that Andrew is doing for this really fun visit. And hey, if you are just channel surfing, don't forget, this is a first for us. Andrew's been wanting to invite you into his home for a long time, and it's really nice that we're finally able to do it. But of course, kind of in honor of that, actually technically 3 great today's specials coming up at the stroke of midnight. So we've got lots of things to get to. Right now, and I heard Adam say this last night when you joined us during the Friday night show, Andrew, I gotta tell you, your Resveratrol, which of course is different and better than anybody else's, there's like a little pricing boo-boo. So you just choose the 30, 60, 180, or 360. We know beauty benefits, cardiovascular benefits, and beyond, but holy moly, did I hear correctly that not only is this your best price ever, there's actually even added value savings to those larger sizes, to that 360 count? This is really kind of almost like another mini today's special.
Originally, the monthly special price was going to be $89 or $99. We made an error, and the 360 capsule supply became $59, which is a little more than a dime a capsule for the best form of resveratrol in the world. And ours comes from the Polygonum cuspidatum plant, which is Japanese knotweed. It's the perfect form, the perfect isomer of resveratrol, trans resveratrol, the best source in the world, 100 milligrams. A lot of folks are starting to take really large doses of resveratrol. I'm not that way with vitamin C or CoQ10 or alpha lipoic acid. When it comes to protective compounds, I think like a healthy diet, it should be comprehensive. The moment you start taking hundreds or thousands of milligrams of resveratrol, it's no longer acting as a healthy dietary supplement. It's starting to act like a drug. And these are not drugs, especially when you consider the fact that one capsule of my resveratrol is the equivalent of a few hundred capsules of resveratrol in red wine. You get a sense that you really don't need to be taking a dozen capsules of this. That one capsule is already giving you the resveratrol that already was respected in red wine. And I think I have the charts. I don't mind if I stand up here, will you be able to follow me? Because I was going to get the charts. Sorry, guys. I have to stand over the puppies. But I had the charts on resveratrol somewhere here. Maybe not. Oh, maybe they're, oh, here it is. Here, right underneath. Good. So it's live TV. We're in my house here in Santa Monica. So, but as you can see from resveratrol isn't an ingredient that just is sort of this newfangled ingredient that, do we have that? That is all of a sudden getting a bunch of, and we've been talking about resveratrol, personally I have for almost 30 years, but as you can see, there's been more than 5,200 papers published on resveratrol. More than 2,400 of those studies have involved humans or human tissues, more than 660 clinical trials, reviews, and systematic reviews. Most medications that get approved have a small fraction of that kind of scientific attention. So resveratrol is something, again, to get its benefits, more is not better. When you get to the right level, you just get to the right level. It's even with vitamin C, I'm not someone who says that we should be taking thousands and thousands of milligrams of vitamin C every day. Some people tell you that. I say the minute you start doing that, you're dealing with really pharmaceutical doses of vitamin C. It's no longer a healthy nutritional supplement. You should start talking to your doctor about it at that point. So with resveratrol, with 100 milligrams of resveratrol or 200 milligrams of resveratrol, it's a bargain for the finest resveratrol in the world, and I think that is the right level that you add to a healthy diet or you add to a healthy complement of other protective compounds, like a couple of 100 milligrams of CoQ10. You don't need to take thousands of milligrams of CoQ10. The science talks about 100, 200, 300. The same with resveratrol. You want to be reasonable and not get crazy. More is not necessarily better, and when you look at the anti-aging science on resveratrol, with this product, you're getting right there in the range that you want to be.
Absolutely. And hey, remember, everything with our extended holiday return policy. So once more, just pick your sizing of choice, the 30, 60, 180, and 360, kind of boo-boo pricing on that 360 count that you're certainly welcome to take advantage of. But we are moving along. Hey, don't forget this live special broadcast event. You're going to see more of, you know, Andrew's friends and around his home as we do this live remote. And of course, don't forget, 12 midnight, your first official look per se of not one or two, but really 3 today's specials that are going to help you through the most challenging time of the year for your digestion, and certainly if you're eating or drinking things you shouldn't. So all those details as we continue. Now, you know, if you are joining HSN for the very first time, we talk about the Andrew Lessman difference. And when we say he creates, makes, manufactures the world's finest vitamins, this, when you did this, it really kind of set the industry on its ear, because there is absolutely no better, no finer, no other one pill a day multivitamin in the world that does what this does. And then of course, you are getting it with a 4.7 star customer pick rating, our extended holiday return policy, and pricing that is fantastic. Oh, whoopsie. Look at, see, talk about doing live television, Andrew. 30, 60, 180, or 360. So that's almost today's special pricing. But it's so great because I think this is a wonderful way to share the wealth and to share the love. I mean, there's no better gift than the gift of health, and this is a great place for people to start.
Yep. I think I'm back there. So now we have both of us here. But well, I was just saying, I'm not sure if when we talk at the same time, if we could be heard. If the, were you able to hear the dogs barking before?
I did not.
Oh, you did? No, that's good, because they were going crazy for a moment there. So that's very good. But with Essential One, and the chart you were going to show with the savings on Essential One, there's no multivitamin like it in the world. It's a single capsule. It will never upset your stomach. It is the world's only multivitamin that is 100% additive free. It's also made entirely like all my products with solar energy, but it's like a separate vitamin D, a separate B12, all rolled into one, which are the two nutrients that most of us are deficient or insufficient in. So you're getting 2,000 IU of vitamin D. Just if you look at it as a separate vitamin D or a separate B12 product, you just paid for you just justified the purchase of the product. There's no artificial colors like all the leading brands. There's no chemical additives like all the leading brands. It truly is a defining product for our brand. It really was the first product we made, or I made 40 years ago when I started my company. And one of the things to remember about everything we're talking about tonight is that we make everything. Most vitamins you see in stores, most vitamins you see on the internet are made by contract manufacturers for the person selling it. We manufacture everything. In fact, many or most of the raw materials in our products are either specifically made by us or for us. So these products are specifically made for you, manufactured for you by us, which is not what you get when you go shopping in stores. And Essential One is really, it's the foundational product, the pinnacle product that represents how well or how differently we go about doing what we do to make the purest, the finest, the best product on your behalf.
Absolutely. And in fact, Andrew, this is what you were just talking about. Again, when you just choose your size of choice, 30, 60, 180, or 360, huge savings. But as Andrew was just saying, if you look at just the vitamin B, the vitamin D, the calcium, the vitamin C, the magnesium, and remember, Andrew does vitamin B in a way that no one else does. But I know we're short on time, but Andrew, I'm just gonna show everybody kind of the comparison to what people are used to when it comes to taking a multivitamin. When I look at really what the competitors do, honestly, I get a little bit of a stomach ache, and that's before I would even try to choke something like that down. I mean, beyond the fact that you're giving us potency and quality and manufacturing quality that no one else does, I mean, it's just easier on my stomach in addition to all the benefits.
Plus, I mean, you look at those pills, and they are very pretty, granted, but they're the height of disrespect. That we're all adults. We don't need pretty colors on our multivitamins. Even I think the folks making M&Ms, I think they've gone to natural colors in their M&Ms. Yet here we still find artificial colors in multivitamins, and multivitamins are supposed to be what? Healthy. So there's no comparison, our product to theirs. Our capsules contain an ultrafine powder that immediately dissolves. You will never get an upset stomach, despite how much higher in potency we are. And despite how affordable we are, you will never, ever, ever get an upset stomach. If anything, you could read some of the reviews. They'll talk about how our multivitamin tends to settle their stomach because it buffers their stomach. It's pH neutral. So there's no multivitamin like it. And again, vitamin B12, vitamin D, we're not getting those from our diet. And our vitamin B12, unlike the B12 in any other multivitamin, our vitamin B12 is not only in its natural coenzyme form, not cyanocobalamin, but methylcobalamin, but we also protect it from stomach acid, so you can benefit from the B12. Most B12 products, you need to get a shot or your supplement's useless. Ours is absorbable and beneficial orally. So our multivitamin is unlike anything you'll find anywhere in any store, any pharmacy, any doctor's office, and we make it to be that way. We have corrected all the problems that have made most people sick and tired of multivitamins, sick and tired of the way they feel when they use them, and disappointed because they don't work. You read the reviews on this product, and they are virtually perfect. I think there's a little more than 3,000 reviews, and almost 3,000 of them are 5-star reviews.
Well, in fact, you really kind of took the words out of my mouth. I mean, we're looking at 3,500 reviews. I mean, there are restaurants and movies that would, kill to have reviews like that. 4.7-star customer pick rating. Remember, all you do is you choose your size of choice. Everything has that great flex pay, that extended holiday return policy, the free shipping. So if you're like me, not only do I do this for myself every single day, if you want to celebrate and try the Andrew Lessman difference, this is a perfect way to launch off, or perfect platform to do so. Because remember, you have our extended holiday return policy until the end of January. No better time than the present to really treat yourself or somebody that you love and care about, and really give that gift of health for this holiday season and beyond. And it is so markedly different from what you're used to taking, not only from potency, solubility, easy on your stomach, and really, really great savings that kind of rival or get us within that today's special pricing. So remember, just the vitamin B done in a way that no one else does, that's almost $70. Vitamin D, calcium, magnesium, and all of these great purchase prices. 30, 60, 180, and 360. Andrew, did we leave anything out, or should we keep the variety going?
I mean, I could go on and on about the difference with Essential One. I almost feel badly when I compare it to the leading brands, which we often do in terms of their additives, in terms of how low potency they are, how much higher potency we are, what a better value we are. But I almost kind of feel badly when I do that, so we won't do that. What I'll do is, well, why don't I show the puppies here? Here, guys, go up, over there. Linky, up, go up, sit. So hopefully we'll get, there they are. So there's Marcel in behind, and there's Link. Could I get a high five, Link? Good boy. Could I get a high five, Marcel? Good boy. So there are the men. So, because I know everyone wanted to see them and didn't want to see me. So there you go, there's Link, he's done. And there goes Marcel. Well, he sort of goes. Marcel's not quite up to the same speed as Lincoln, but he's pretty cute, isn't he?
They're both so adorable.
Yes.
Did I hear though? We move from set to set, but you couldn't move because that's the puppy's chair, so you can't move.
That's their chair. Yes, I understand my place, and that's their chair. And Lincoln is now kind of getting himself comfortable in his bed. He's doing what? If you have a dog, this is actually a primitive behavior that dogs have, that they'll dig before they lay down. And when they dig before they lay down, it's something they do. They used to do out in the wild when whether it was digging in snow or dirt or leaves or something like that, to have a warm little dry place to lay down. So that's what puppies do. But and then Marcel's just waiting for his next treat.
Absolutely. Well,
he's a good boy.
I know that we've got a lot of things to do. I will say, we were just talking about the solubility and how easy your Essential One is. Here's another one where it's that Andrew Lessman difference. Not only done at great savings, this is extra special savings tonight in that 30, 60, 180, or 360. Big value. I mean, when you consider, because here's what you will be paying and here's what you're paying today versus your savings with free shipping, that extended holiday return policy, 078570. And boy, Andrew, when we talk about that Andrew Lessman difference, there's probably no better product, I think, to really indicate how much better and how differently you do things than an Omega product that has the kind of reviews that this one does.
You just took the words out of my mouth. That when it comes to omega-3s, it's one of those products like a multivitamin, like a fiber product, that most people just have grown to hate. And I've often said that, we don't do any advertising. We rely on word of mouth. But I say the single greatest obstacle to people trying our products has been their disappointment and their disillusionment with other products. All you need to do is try someone else's omega-3 product, and you understand why. That they don't believe that someone could actually make an omega-3 that's higher potency, but comes in a smaller capsule. That's higher potency, but has no stomach upset. That's higher potency, has no fishy aftertaste. But like so many of my products, I alluded to this before, that our fish oil, this is very specially selected fish oil that is specifically assembled and put together for us, or for you and you only. I'm hoping next year I'll go visit the facility in Norway where all of our fish oil comes from, that we go all over the world wherever we need to go to get the finest ingredients, the finest quality, and regardless of what's involved in doing so. Our only goal is making the singular greatest product of its kind. And when it comes to our omega-3 product, that's exactly what we've succeeded to do. This is a product that will never upset your stomach. It focuses on the most important of the omega-3s, which is DHA. Most formulas focus on EPA. We focus more on DHA because that's what your brain is made of, that is what your eyes are made of, that's what your eyes rely on. So again, if you were going to make an omega-3 product, it would look like this. You would have to search the world to be able to accomplish it, but when you did that hard work, and it would take years or decades, you'd end up with a formula that looks like this.
Absolutely. In fact, to your point, I mean, people love this. 4.7-star customer pick rating with over 3,500 reviews. Andrew, we were talking about your difference, and if I may, I'm just going to show the big footballs. I mean, sometimes people think that they have to take something like these outrageous horse pills, but you were really the one. I mean, first of all, you manufacture this in a way that no one else does. I mean, that's number one. But sometimes we may not be getting the omegas that we think we're getting when we're buying that fish oil product, let alone to say no additives, no contaminants, no mercury, but the best pricing ever. I mean, you have hit it out of the park with this one.
No, and that's exactly true. When you're looking at an omega-3 product, most people think, I have to swallow this huge fishy football, and they look at ours, which is about half the size, and they think, I'm going to have to take a half a dozen of these. No, our product might be half the size, but it provides 50% more omega-3, and it provides about 70% more DHA. So size can be misleading. When it comes to our product, we're focused on quality. Plus, the typical omega-3s are in a form that's synthetic called an ethyl ester. Ours is in the natural triglyceride form. When you go to a doctor and they measure your triglycerides, that's measuring the natural form of fat. So the natural form of fat that an omega-3 should be is a triglyceride. Most of them are not, unfortunately. Ours are the natural triglyceride, which means they do a better job at balancing the levels of your triglycerides. So if you want a natural tool to help you keep your triglycerides in the healthy range, which is great for cardiovascular risk, then you'll find no better product than a natural triglyceride omega-3 product like ours, which is unfortunately not the typical product you'll find in any supermarket, any pharmacy, any discount store, or online. Unfortunately, most of the products don't follow the science or the rules as they were written. They do their own thing, and it ends up being a product that's lower quality.
Absolutely. I mean, so at this kind of savings, it's definitely something to take advantage of. And remember, with that extended holiday return policy, no repeating, no fishy aftertaste. And it's funny because when Andrew first started talking about this at HSN, we used to start, by talking about cardiovascular benefits, which of course we do. But now from your eyes to beauty to your joints to your mood, at this kind of savings, it's really, really hard to pass up. Even our producer Steve said, wow, that's getting pretty close or within that today's special territory. I mean, it really is, especially with that extended holiday return policy.
It's the next best price, I think, to a Today Special pretty much. And it's also, when you're looking at this product, again, people are used to have to follow their doctor's instructions and take 3 to 6 omega-3s a day. With my product, it's going to be 1 or 2 because it's 500 milligrams per capsule, not 200 or 300 milligrams per capsule, 500. So it's 1 capsule, I'd say 75, 80% of the time, 1 capsule. Your cardiologist, your ophthalmologist, if they say you have special issues, it might be 2 capsules. But again, unbelievably affordable for the finest quality omega-3s in the world that we go all the way to Norway to get specially made for us, for you.
Absolutely. So, I mean, we talk about that Andrew Lessman difference. And of course, if you're synchronizing your watches, we're doing a very special event with Andrew. He makes the world's finest vitamins. We're actually enjoying some time with him in his home. It's something that I know he's been wanting to do for decades. And we have not 1 or 2, really 3 today's specials at 12 midnight that really help get us through the most difficult time of the year when it comes to our digestion and our immunity or the foods or maybe alcohol that we're drinking. All those details coming up at midnight. But in the meantime, our Ultimate Eye is a another customer pick, another customer favorite. Certainly in the savings that we're seeing for this holiday season, 30, 60, 180, and 360, that extended holiday return policy, free shipping, special flex pays. You know, the thing is, Andrew, whether it's that blue light, we're looking at laptops, we're looking at computers. I mean, we used to think about your eye support during the summer months, but it's equally important now because we're all staring at those little screens, whether we like it or not.
No, I'm sitting here in front of a camera. I've got a couple of screens in front of me all day long. I wrote the blog post I posted the other day sitting in front of my computer. And when I'm not on my computer, I'm answering emails on my phone. I know I'm not alone. And blue light is something that affects our vision. But what I think has really motivated folks to make this product as popular as it is we've always been able to talk about the long-term protective benefits of lutein and zeaxanthin. We've always been able to talk about the benefits to night vision of anthocyanins that we have present in this product, which are amazing for healthy night vision. But I think what people really love to experience is to see a difference in how their vision performs today. And even for their ophthalmologist or optometrist or optician to talk to them about seeing a difference in how this product is supporting the health of their vision and the health of the structure of their eyes. There's no avoiding that. There's no disputing that. And when you read the reviews, and on all of these products we've talked about, without exception, they're almost unanimously positively reviewed products. So those reviews will be encouraging, and those reviews are an opportunity for you to perhaps embrace some of the same benefits. And when it comes to our vision, it is the most important of our five senses, arguably. It's something we want to preserve because in preserving healthy vision, it helps to preserve the quality of our life and the enjoyment of our life. When it comes to lutein and zeaxanthin, when it comes to the anthocyanin-containing products in this formula, it is our most comprehensive foundational formula for healthy vision. And at special pricing, it's a great opportunity to try it also. Like all of the products I'll be talking about, there's a money-back guarantee. Typically, it's 30 days. Today, it goes all the way to January 31st. So that's 31 days in January, 31 days in December. So it's going to be more like a 90-day money-back guarantee. So a great opportunity to see the difference it can make for your vision or someone's vision that you love.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I've noticed, Andrew, I was talking about laptops and computers, is kind of that visual acuity, you know, how our focus has to snap back. Because quite often we're looking at a cell phone or looking at a tablet, and then we have to look up and focus on a television screen. Even when I go to the gym and the TVs are a mile away from the treadmill, it makes such a big difference. And especially because I'm usually driving home at night vision, and you've got a beautiful nightscape behind you there in California, it helps with all of those challenges that are just part of that natural aging process.
And that's one of the most common things we hear is about night vision and how as we get older, our life can become tremendously limited. We might not do social engagements. We might not go out because we're fearful or concerned about driving at night. The anthocyanins in this product, the bilberry extract that provides the anthocyanins that help to regenerate what's called the visual purple portion of our retina that's critical for night vision, just make a profound difference. It's amazing the difference it makes. In things we think we can't make a difference about, it's amazing how natural ingredients, when you follow Mother Nature's blueprint in a fashion that science has recognized that Mother Nature had a good blueprint, it's amazing the difference that you could see. So long-term protection for the health of our retina, the macular region of our eye, there is no question that lutein and zeaxanthin are absolutely critical to protect the structure, the health, the circulation to the macular region of our retina. Lutein and zeaxanthin, we must have them. And anthocyanins are a critical part of the visual system that enables us to have good quality vision at night. So a comprehensive product that supports the most important of our senses that is just indispensable for the quality of our life.
And I mean, boy, you nailed it. I mean, you know, we could make the argument, well, certainly one of our most important, you know, senses is sight. And there's an onslaught, there's a daily onslaught. So this is something that you can do because we aren't eating in the way that will support your eye area in the way that this product was. And most notably, almost today's special pricing, it's part of that weekend special in the 30, 60, 180, or 360. And remember, We have that extended holiday return policy. We have that free shipping. And if you read those reviews, I know we keep talking about how everything that Andrew does is a customer pick. At a 4.6 star customer pick rating and almost 2,000 reviews, here's another one where people are going to have a high standard of measurement in terms of how they rate this. But one of the newer products that you've brought into the line, Andrew, at least new to me, I didn't realize, is that lutein plus the zeaxanthin, the ultimate level. Was that something people had asked for?
Well, a couple of people did. Well, it was a lot of ophthalmologists and optometrists were asking for this. In fact, my ophthalmologist, when I went to visit Miles, is his name, when I went to visit Miles, he said he'd really love a product that just delivered specifically the levels that we're delivering in this soft gel of lutein and zeaxanthin on its own. That he wanted to have, beyond a standard eye support product, he wanted to have a booster product for certain patients, specific patients, as they got older, that delivered just targeted, maximal levels of lutein and zeaxanthin, 6 milligrams and 12 milligrams of lutein and zeaxanthin. So that's what we've done specifically with this product. So for someone who just wants to follow the guidance of their optometrist and get that extra boost, because it is now absolutely recognized, the indispensable role. I mean, I almost feel when I talk about lutein and zeaxanthin that I'm doing a public service announcement. These are the carotenoids that comprise, that make up the optical pigment in everyone's retina and macular region of the retina. We all share this, and we don't get this in a typical American diet, and it's no wonder that American vision suffers as we get older, which is why we've now made this separate Max L plus C, maximum lutein plus zeaxanthin, so you get both of them at their optimum or maximum levels to achieve the kind of protection we all should have.
Absolutely. Actually, we just got a little update, and I know you're kind of close to where the heart of the action is. I know your company originated in Santa Monica, but we have just a couple hundred available only in each individual size, so you might want to keep that into consideration. And Andrew, the other thing is very limited. When I looked at these great capsules, I almost wish I had a little pin to prick one. I mean, that's so pretty. So that's the natural coloring?
And they're so concentrated. They're basically more of a yellowish color, but they're so concentrated in that capsule, the levels they're at, that yellowish color almost becomes sort of an orange-ish color, a pearlescent orange color. But lutein and zeaxanthin are two of the most expensive ingredients. Zeaxanthin on its own, when you talk about active zeaxanthin, you're talking about something that's tens of thousands of dollars for a kilogram. In other words, for 2 pounds of zeaxanthin, you're paying the price of basically a very nice car. And lutein is not far behind it. So you could buy a nice economy car for a kilogram of lutein. So it's just amazing how expensive these are. But as expensive as they are, highly concentrated oils in this tiny soft gel, we've made it incredibly, incredibly affordable. And this was, as I said, this was a formula that wasn't even designed by you. Normally I take the feedback from everyone who buys our products, but this was the feedback from doctors. This was the feedback from ophthalmologists, optometrists, opticians who wanted a specific booster, including my own. Twice a year, I get the pressure checked in my eyes. Twice a year, I make sure they look at the retina of my eyes to make sure my retina is healthy and the pressure of my eye is healthy. Everyone else should follow my lead and do that at least once a year, hopefully twice a year, to make sure your retina is healthy. Very easy to do. It's non-invasive. Same with the pressure of your eye, non-invasive. And that's the last time I visited. That's when Miles had told me that if there was a standalone product that had 12 milligrams lutein, 6 milligrams zeaxanthin, that could be added to whatever multivitamin or whatever eye support product, he would recommend it all day long. It's really what the professionals are looking for. And there were at least a dozen other recommendations that I had received from other professionals. So that's when we made the product.
Absolutely. Well, an outstanding savings, because I remember when you first brought eye support to HSN, even, we talked about the cost of manufacturing even that product, but this just takes it to a whole new level. It's great for someone like me or like Andrew if you've got light colored eyes, or if for your job, I'm staring, like I said, I know I'm challenging that God-given, sight.
Sorry to interrupt, but I was bad. I mean, I lived my life playing sports outdoors.
Right.
And it's only probably in the last decade of my life that I discovered sunglasses and sunscreen, much to my dismay today. So a lot of us in our youth, we might not have been behaving well, but there's no excuse now. We now know better that lutein and zeaxanthin absolutely, positively are responsible for the protection of the macular region of our retina, protection of our retina, the protection of the lens of our eye. There is absolutely no doubt. Go online, you read the clinical studies. You could read the summaries of those studies. The only bad news I have tonight, nothing bad to say about lutein and zeaxanthin, but I was just looking at the counter, and we just have a couple of hundred available in each size at the special event pricing. So that's we'll try to see if we can make more, but this is one of those very complicated products that the ingredients are specially produced for us, and the product, again, specially produced for you.
Absolutely. Well, if again, I hope that you can take advantage of it, because remember, very expensive to manufacture, and with just a few hundred available in your size of choice, extended holiday return policy, of course, 30, 60, 120, 240. Of course, that special flex pay. But of course, Andrew, I'm so excited to be part of this live broadcast event. But if you are interested in this, or if you're running to the bottom of a bottle like I am, because I added this to my eye support and love it, I definitely would like to recommend that you choose that tonight. But we've got a couple of other goodies that we want to sneak in. Remember, we're a little more than 10 minutes away from that first official look at not one or two, but actually 3 today's specials that Andrew is doing. Really not for the first time, but for the first time he's doing them before January, when we kind of figure, the jig is up. So whether it's digestion or immunity or just keeping our liver happy, well, that's coming up at midnight. But in the meantime, are your legs not happy when you sit down at night? Does it seem like they keep going? We used to call this the nurse's product, but it is big, big savings. Again, glucosamine and chondroitin. So if you have, if your joints
you thought we were talking about circulation.
See, I was. Speaking of, needing vision support. It's like, but this is another one of my favorites, because I certainly have joint concerns, and you've made it ultra affordable to get that kind of support for those of us out there who need it.
And again, when we talk about our glucosamine product, we're talking about a product that most companies discovered 10, 15 years ago or so. My first glucosamine chondroitin product was introduced in September of 1979, and that would be over 40 years ago. And the one thing we learned about glucosamine, and the reason why this product is so exceptionally well reviewed, is there's no excusing the wrong form. The only way glucosamine works is if it's delivered in its proper form. And that proper form is the proper chemical form. Glucosamine sulfate is what we all know the science talks about. Sadly, if anywhere it's even more sad is if you look at pet products. Almost all of the pet products I've looked at use glucosamine hydrochloride. Most of the human products use glucosamine hydrochloride. That is not the beneficial form. It's a cheap imitation. It doesn't deliver the benefits. So again, if you read the reviews on this product, one of the more common things you'll encounter, I tried other glucosamine products. They didn't work. And the reason they didn't work, they didn't deliver the proper form. So if you want to support your joints, if you're not getting the proper form, you're wasting your money. Don't even bother investing in a glucosamine product. It doesn't have to be mine. You could find other glucosamine sulfate or chondroitin sulfate. It won't be in an ultrafine powder and additive-free and high bioavailability like mine, but at least it will contain the right form. So the important takeaway from any discussion on glucosamine, it has to be glucosamine sulfate, it has to be chondroitin sulfate. That's what the science talks about. What's ironic is the science is what creates the interest, what creates sort of the marketplace for someone to make a product to help our joints. But it's not ironic, I think it's actually sad and highly deceptive that they then make a product that violates the science, that ignores the science. That's not what we do. We take our lead from Mother Nature and we follow the science to deliver you the benefits that are exciting in that literature.
Absolutely. Not only following that research, but great savings that I have to applaud you here, especially as someone who does take this every single day and feels a marked improvement. 75, 150, 300, or that great big, that 600 count size, especially because you are going to be taking this every day, or perhaps you're even sharing it in the family. Here's where our pricing goes, and here's our pricing today. Remember, do you realize you can double that capsule size for less than you will spend for the 600 after this special is over? And then there's another way of looking at that savings as well. So the glucosamine alone, now this is on that 600 count size, is almost $80. On the chondroitin, that more than pays for the purchase. Good grief, it's $104 savings. That really does rival, or once more put us in today's special territory in terms of savings. All this for less than a $20 bill on that 600 count size. And then that extended holiday return policy until the end of January. Andrew, that's more than ample time for us to really feel a difference on how it's going to help assist us with our joints.
And I love the extended return policy. Part of the reason I do is for a long time, I've been trying to, and it's hard to do because obviously there are thousands of brands at HSN, but I've been trying to convince HSN to extend their return policy because for us, we have basically no returns. So I'm happy to extend the return policy. I love the holidays when we get to say, whatever you get now in November, you basically have almost a 90-day return policy. How exciting is that? You can try anything, any size, whether it's a large size, small size, you get to return it. If you don't love it, which you won't do because you'll fall in love.
Absolutely. It's so exciting. And, I don't want to, get too far ahead of myself, but do the puppies, do they also get their glucosamine?
Absolutely. They get a capsule of glucosamine every day. They both weigh about 35 pounds, so they get one capsule of glucosamine with chondroitin every day. They also share part of a capsule of Ultimate Eye. They also share part of a capsule of CoQ10 every day. They get Friendly Flora a couple of times a week. They also get their free-range collagen in every meal. So, and we're still working on the pet product, so we'll be putting together a product that really emulates what Lincoln and Marcel have been the guinea pigs for all their life. And Lincoln is the troublemaker and the instigator. Marcel's crazy, he's a puppy, but Lincoln's the troublemaker, and Lincoln, hard to believe, is going to be 12 years old. So he still conducts himself like a puppy, and I hope to keep him that way for as long as possible.
Absolutely. Well, he's got the right daddy to help him do that. Well, this was a late-breaking addition to our show, which I'm thrilled. It's one of my personal new favorites, and chances are it's yours as well. And if you haven't tried it, boy, I'll tell you what, do a little internet search on turmeric, and boy, oh boy, you're going to want this in your life, especially in the way that Andrew does it. It's a real quick special. Before we do that, today's special, actually not one or two, but three today's specials at midnight. Choose the 30, 60, 120, or that 240, all with that free shipping and that extended holiday return policy. And Andrew, I'm telling you, this is an ingredient that's getting a lot of press right now, but once more, you are doing it in a way that no one else in the industry is.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I was just looking at the screen here. We have limited supply on this, but turmeric, again, is one of those ingredients that you need to do it properly. Certainly, cooking with turmeric, great idea, but turmeric spice contains about 1 or 2% of curcuminoids, the beneficial compounds. But at least when you cook with turmeric, it gets complexed with fat and it gets absorbable. And the key to turmeric is making it absorbable. A standard turmeric extract and the highest potency extract is 95%. A standard turmeric extract at 95% is going to be almost completely not absorbable. And that's the sad fact of life with most turmeric supplements. But with us, we start with that 95% curcuminoid extract, and then we take a page out of an Indian and Asian cookbook, and we complex it with fat. We complex it with the fat we're going to talk about in a little while, phosphatidylcholine, because it's so important for our liver and for our brain. But that fat makes turmeric 3,000% more absorbable, the curcuminoids in it. There's another way to do it, and that's by adding black pepper spice. Black pepper spice can enhance the absorption of the curcuminoids, but black pepper spice is irritating to your digestive system, and also black pepper spice can interfere with the absorption of drugs. So that's not something we would ever contemplate offering. So the only way to, in my mind, enhance the absorption of turmeric is following the natural way. Again, Mother Nature's way, the natural way scientifically, combine it with a healthy fat, phosphatidylcholine, which is the major phospholipid in your brain, the major phospholipid in your liver, and you make turmeric magically, naturally, more bioavailable. So that's how you get the benefits of turmeric, and that's why this is virtually a perfectly reviewed product. Plus our turmeric, because of the way we do it, it's not going to be a spice that will upset your stomach. If anything, it will settle your stomach. So again, when a supplement is created correctly, there's not going to be problems or issues, and it's going to be well reviewed. And there's no more correctly created turmeric supplement than my turmeric supplement here today.
Absolutely, 4.5-star customer pick average. We're coming up against midnight, but remember, while you can always shop 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, there are only a few hundred of each. This was a late-breaking edition, so this is one of those really challenged items in terms of availability. So I would grab it tonight if you could, especially if you have that little Andrew Lessman shopping cart like I do. But big things are happening. Yes, grab your turmeric. Everything at the special purchase pricing for this special remote weekend. Remember, on the turmeric, you choose the 30, 60, 120, or 240, all with that extended holiday return policy and free shipping. So there's no better time than the present to try it tonight. But if you are channel surfing, the moment that we have been waiting for, not only because this is a special live broadcast event, not one, not two, but 3 today's special, done for the first time before the first of the year to help us with all the things that are challenging us, whether it's your digestion, maybe you're taking antibiotics, or you're maybe indulging in things that you shouldn't do, heavy fatty foods, indulging in alcohol. Well, Andrew has the perfect place to treat yourself, to treat you to better health for the new year before the new year starts. Again, it is your first chance on not 1 or 2 or 3, but 3 finest values of the day.